here and show us your skills.
Put that on the stand. What? Put that on the stand, like I did. It's not super obvious at the beginning.
Hello, hello. Oh, there you go. So, I'm not the singing type, but I will tell you a story all about it. No, I'm kidding. So I've had a very weird childhood, and I've been trying to think of like a title for this all day today, but we're just gonna call this the Fantastically Realistic Adventures of Kyle LeConte's Childhood. So we're gonna start from like, okay, because this is funny. Right? So you're supposed to laugh, and we're gonna start from the very beginning, right from like, my mom has had 6 kids, and I was the fattest of them all. You're looking at this guy, he doesn't look fat, that's false. No, I was extremely fat. And with that being said, let's flash forward 3 years. I'm living with my grandma and grandpa in Alabama, because that's where I was born. And we had a dog at the time. And it was a golden lab, and it was a big dog. And each and every day he would go out through the doggy door. And and one day, being the 3-year-old I am, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go through the doggy door as well. So I go to try to get on through the doggy door, and I'm stuck. I get stuck, and I'm sitting there just butt end through the door, my other end is out the door, and my grandpa, I can hear my grandpa and my grandma and all my parents, they're laughing their butts off in the kitchen. So they pop me up, they made that noise as well, and that was being 3 at the time. That's the only memory I have of Alabama, so let's flash forward again, and since my dad was in the Coast Guard, we had to travel, and we got deployed to Hawaii. So we left a week early, and we traveled the U.S. And let me tell you something about the U.S. It is like a bread sandwich. As in, the East Coast and the West Coast are pretty interesting, but there is absolutely nothing memorable in the middle whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. I remember nothing of that trip, other than toward the end, Las Vegas. I remember going into Las Vegas because we stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel there. And I don't know how many of you have been to the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas, but they have a giant guitar that's neon and everything, and being, 4 at the time? I didn't know that it was neon. I thought it was real. So I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, Mommy, that's a big guitar. And my No, that's an actual impersonation of me when I was and I thought it was like a legit guitar and everything. So then we go onto the plane and we're going over to Hawaii, and I'm about to ruin Hawaii for everybody here. If you do not like bugs, do not go to Hawaii. Because I'm talking about centipedes that are about this by this. Okay, so here's a memory. This isn't an actual personal memory, but it's one that my parents had that they told me, and I'm extremely glad I do not remember this. Anybody here has been to Hawaii? Nobody? Nobody here? All right, well, Hawaii beaches, they are clothing optional. So when I was in the back of my mom's and dad's car, and they were driving, and they pulled right into a beach. And there is a nude, fat man playing frisbee with his dog. So I am extremely glad I don't remember that one. So they back out and go to another beach and everything. And then, what else do we got? Okay, and then we went to the beach one time, and they were trying to point out a turtle to me. I was a sea turtle. Yeah, they were trying to point a sea turtle out to me. And I'm like, Mommy, I don't see the sea turtle. I could not see them for my life. I do not remember remember seeing anything that my parents said. And then the question I often get when I bring up the subject is, well, why do you move from Hawaii? Well, 9/11 happened, and we got deployed over to Massachusetts. Thanks, Osama. So we flew over to Massachusetts, and what else we got? And Massachusetts is really interesting. I have a lot of memories, funny memories from there. For example, we had a fish tank. It was a saltwater fish tank, and my dad would always come home from the Coast Guard with random sea animals. He would have a yellow tang. There was a sea cucumber. Once there was a sea urchin there. Oh man! And then he brought in this ugly freaking crab. Like it was the ugly, like imagine like a spider crab, like a miniature one, and it was ugly. And we put it in a tank, and automatically I'm like, oh cool, I got a crab in our tank. And I go over to one side of the tank, and it follows me over. And I go over to the other side, and it follows again. This thing wanted to kill me. It wanted to kill me and eat my brains. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. I hated that crab. And then, so another few days go past, or a few months, whatever. Couldn't tell time. And I'm walking, and I see my mom and my dad at the door, and I'm like, what are they doing? My dad is like crying tears. My mom is crying. I'm like, what's going on? So I waltz right over there, and my dad has a little baby bluebird in his hand that just fell out of the nest, where we had a big old pine tree in front of our yard. And it was just a little baby, just hatched and everything, and we're like, oh, it's so cute. So, but I'm like, Dad, can you keep it? And he's like, no, son, it's a wild animal. So we did the only right thing to do, we let it go. So we put it on a sidewalk, and it's going over there. A hawk comes down, snatches it, goes up to the roof, and starts throwing it on the roof. Me being, I did not understand nature at the time, Dad, look, my mom came and got him. No, son, that's not his mom. Scooted me back inside. And while we were in Massachusetts, we decided to go to Canada. And we went to Toronto, Canada, and we went to the CN Tower. I don't know if you guys know about the CN Tower, but it's, I think, the 4th largest structure in the world, Western Hemisphere at least. And we went up, and of course, being Canadians that they are, and they gotta make up for their niceness, so they added a glass elevator that goes all the way up. So we get up there, and they have this glass floor that looks over the highway where you go to the CN Tower. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like completely safe, but I'm cautious about it. And my mom looks at me and goes, Kyle, get on there. I want a picture of you on that, along with your dad. And I'm looking at her like, are you trying to kill me? So I did not want to go on this thing. So what I do is I go, and I am inching to the glass, and I'm like on the glass right now, and I'm like, Mom, take the picture. And she's like, oh, I gotta turn the flash on and everything. She takes a picture. I'm like, did you get it? She's like, no, not. I'm gonna take a few more. I'm like, God damn, I'm like shaking. And so after that, it got up. I thought my mom was literally gonna she had like a death. She wanted me to die, like fall off the highway. She got what was going to her though, later during that tour, where she was looking over the edge, trying to take a picture. My dad comes up and whoop, tricks her into falling. And so we go back to Massachusetts, and we had to, so my dad got out of the Coast Guard, and we went to Alabama once again. And we lived there. I started 1st grade there, and I went to see, and yeah, no, this is where it's going. For each and every day for lunch, for 1st grade, I would bring in my lunch from home. And being the Southern I am, it was either red beans or rice. It was sometimes gumbo. It was sometimes jambalaya. It was variety of things. This time, it was grilled cheese. And so I'm eating this grilled cheese, and I don't know if any of you have been in Southern schools as well, but I was one of maybe 3 white kids in the whole class. So I'm eating this grilled cheese, and you got some other kids over there looking at me, and they're staring at me. They're like, what? Is he, what? And I'm like, eating my grilled, I stopped for a second, I'm like, what are they talking about? And they start laughing and giggling, and then more are coming, and I'm like, what am I doing? They start going, that kid's eating grilled cheese. Apparently, it's a sin to eat grilled cheese. Apparently it's the white. It's the white stereotype food, apparently. And so that was Alabama, and I also I used to go to church there. And the reason I used to go to church is because my grandma would always have fruit Mentos with me. And she'd go up to me and go, Kyle, do you want to go to church today? I'd be like, no. And then she'd pull out fruit Mentos, and she's like, do you want to now? I do want to go now. So we went over there. She gave me fruit Mentos, and then I'd fall asleep right on the lap. And it repeated every Sunday. So then, okay, so we're going to flash forward even more to my beginnings here in Pennsylvania. Fresh Southern accent, second grade recess. What are y'all doing? Y'all, what are you talking about? Oh, sorry, from Alabama and everything. And like, oh my God, like, yeah. And then from there on, it was just chaos down there. Like, people still try to point out my Southern accent. I claim I don't have it still, but still people try to point it out. And so yeah, I had a very weird childhood. Thank you, everyone. That's it. I'm not singing.
Last up, we have Kylie.
recorded by the country artist Cam. I had a dream about a burning house. You were stuck inside, I couldn't get you out. Lay beside you and pulled you close, and the two of us went up in smoke. Love isn't all that it seems. I did you wrong. I'll stay here with you until this dream is gone. I've been sleepwalking, been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house, see you at a party and you look the same. I could take you back, but people don't ever change. Wish that we could go back in time, and I'd be the one you thought this burning house. Oh, and I don't want to wake up in this burning house. I've been sleepwalking, been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house.
Thank you guys so much. Actually, I didn't have a homeroom teacher for like 2 months in the beginning of the school year because Miss Reber, she left. So I didn't have a homeroom teacher. I didn't have a way to plan my senior project. Like, I didn't have anyone to help me. So it was about a month ago that I went up to Mr. Carlson and I was like, hey, can I raise money for the musical? And he's like, sure, do an open mic night. So I was like, okay, sounds easy. And then we got a lot of snow. So all of my planning stuff was at school and I couldn't drive here to get it because there was snow. So my goal was to My goal was to raise $500 for the orchestra pit because they need new lights for their stands. And that's just like a little bit of money going towards it. And actually tonight we raised about $525, and that's like amazing for the amount of people here. So thank you so much. It's like 7:10, so we still have a lot of baked goods for sale, but Kylie concluded our open mic night, so thank you.
Do you need people to help clean up?
Sure.